Okay, welcome back. So we're going to go ahead and draw our sphere. Right now this is a circle. A circle is a shape. Shape is 2D. A form is a 3D object. So this shape is flat. We are going to shade it to make it look like a form, which is 3D. To do that, we need to think about the light source. So if you are a person standing outside on the sidewalk, and the sun is over here, the highlight is going to hit you right here. Your shadow will be down here. It's like an arrow, goes straight through. So you'll see your shadow, your little legs, your little arms, and your head, right? Your shadow goes straight down. The one thing I see a lot of is we see our light coming in from our light source, and then I'll see shadows coming this way, which is backwards. Okay, so the same concept goes for our spheres. Doesn't matter which way your light source is coming from. If it's coming from over here, your highlight will be here and your shadow will be here, your cast shadow. It's straight through like an arrow or like a line. So I'm going to do it over here, put my light source, and then I would have my cast shadow down here. So this is going to be an ellipse that overlaps it. We drew ellipses when we drew our cakes and made them 3D, and we'll erase this overlap. Now I'm not too worried about like he did with the background and making that work. I just really want us to focus on applying our value scale to the sphere. So we know that because our light is shining in this way, boop, 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 our light source is going to end up being right around here. Now what I don't want to see is something that looks like a hole. So we shouldn't actually see that oval. We're just going to start in really light. Get in that light gray. We're going to have the darker grays down here, and we want to make sure they curve, because if you put in your highlights and shadows, we have our highlight here, and if we put them in bands like this, it's going to keep our sphere looking flat like a cookie. We want it to be round like a ball. So they're going to come in around and around and around. Okay, so our values will go from really dark down here up to white here, not flat across. Make sure we're getting that curve in. We're bringing it up, we're bringing it down, we're bringing it around. Okay, so I know that over here this is going to be fairly dark. It's going to be like this dark gray here because our cast shadow is going to be slightly darker. We're also not going to worry about that reflective highlight. We'll talk more about that later. Right now I just want you to worry about highlight, midtones. That's our value, or our grays. And I want you to do the shadow, that's the core shadow, and that cast shadow. Okay, so we're going to keep coming in here. Again, if you use your pencil sideways, that helps sometimes to get your shading in a little smoother. There are also these things called blending tools that lots of artists use, but this is really the foundation of drawing. This is what makes everything look good, look real. And like when my artist friends and I get together to critique each other's work and to talk about how we can make it better, most of the time the issue is with the value, that there's just not enough darks and not enough lights, that it's all too much, filled with too much of the midtones. So that's why we start studying this now, and this is an activity that you'll do again and again just as practice. I've done it in college, I've done it in high school, I've done it in middle school, and I did it in elementary school just like you. So you can see how we're bringing in those values. So down here I've got that darkish gray, and I'm building it up slowly. I started light, and now I'm sort of bringing it up slowly. And I'm gradually getting lighter as I get closer to my highlight. And I'm coming around because we want to remember that the highlight is actually an ellipse on our sphere. I'm going to come around a little bit. Okay. All right, now I'm going to do that cast shadow, and that's going to be pretty black. Now around the cast shadow, I like to give it a little bit of a blur because shadows are rarely really hard and crisp like this. They usually have like a little bit of haziness around them. So we'll kind of soften up that edge. And you can see how it looks more like a shadow now. All right, my friends. I want you to practice the sphere. Then next week we're going to do our clay emojis. And so you'll pick up your clay kit. And then the week after that, we're going to come back to spheres. However, it'll be a little bit more fun because we are going to apply what we learned here, and we are going to make some ice cream cones using color. So I can't wait to see how your spheres turned out and your value scale. And if you want, you can identify the different areas of your sphere. That's fine with me. If that helps you, because this is going to be your reference sheet. If you noticed in the video, the artist just used a hole punch and cut a hole right next to these so that he could even hold it up to his reference to see what value he was really looking at. All right, my friends, if you have any questions, send me a note in Schoology. Okay.